What role do pawns play in forming strategic outposts? Imagine a game where each move can set the stage for victory or defeat. In chess, pawns are often underestimated, but they hold the key to controlling the board. One of their most important roles is helping create strong positions called outposts. An outpost is a safe square deep in the enemy's territory, usually on the 4th, 5th, or 6th rank, where a piece like a knight can sit securely. Pawns influence these spots by their placement and how they move. They control the diagonals in front of them, so if you position your pawns carefully, you can block or open access to certain squares. A square becomes an outpost when the opponent cannot attack it with their pawns. This often happens when the enemy pawns are pushed forward or have been exchanged, leaving gaps or weak spots behind. For example, if you push your pawns in a way that creates a hole in your opponent's pawn structure, you can occupy that space with a knight or another piece. This gives you a foothold that is hard for your opponent to challenge. Sometimes, advancing your pawns can also fix your own pawn weaknesses, like isolated or backward pawns, and turn them into strongholds. Advancing pawns can open lines for your other pieces, making it easier for them to move into powerful positions. For instance, pushing a pawn to the 5th or 6th rank can clear the way for your knights or bishops to jump into outposts. At the same time, careful pawn placement can prevent your opponent from establishing their own outposts. If you control key squares with your pawns, you limit their options and make it harder for them to develop their pieces effectively. In many openings like the Queen's Gambit Declined or the Car-O-Khan, players aim to place their knights on outposts such as the squares e5 or d5. These squares are protected by pawns and are not easily attacked by enemy pawns. Having a knight on an outpost allows you to exert pressure on your opponent's position, restrict their movements, and support attacking ideas. So pawns are not just foot soldiers, they shape the entire battlefield. They determine which squares are safe and which are contested. By controlling or relinquishing control over certain squares, pawns help you set up powerful outposts for your pieces. These outposts can turn into bases for launching attacks, defending key areas, or simply gaining a strategic advantage. Understanding how pawn movement and structure influence outposts is essential for making your pieces more effective and controlling the flow of the game.